Hello and welcome to Gathering Momentum for Your Life. I'm Christine Casten, and I have just returned from a conference that was just fantastic. It was called the Gatekeepers Conference at the Well in Tennessee. Had an incredible time. This recording is actually delayed a week, but I just got back, and there are so many things that I'm probably going to be pulling out and talking about over the next few weeks. But until that point, there was something that I have been thinking about, and I want to start with the idea of my own personal experience because I think it will help set this up for you. But one of the things that I experienced growing up is I was a really good volleyball player, and my position on the team was called setter. And for those that don't know anything about volleyball, there are six spaces on the court, and there's one person in those six who is supposed to get the second hit. So the ball comes over the net, someone is supposed to bump it up, and then the setter is supposed to get it. Now, no matter where they start in that rotation of those six spaces, their job is to run to the front center and set the ball up so that someone on one side or the other of them can spike the ball over the net so that the other team obviously can't return it, hopefully. So that setting position is really important for the team. And so after, in part of my enthusiasm for playing, one of the things that I used to do is I would play pickup games. And in those pickup games, I walked onto the court and nobody knew me. No one knew who I was as far as, my skills. No one knew what I was capable of providing support for the team or how. And a lot of times I was one of the only girls on the court with a whole bunch of guys. And so there was one particular time, and this is going somewhere, I promise. But anyway, there was one particular time when I happened to be in the front position, in the front center position, ready to spike the ball. And this guy literally ran over me trying to get to the second hit because he didn't trust that I would be capable of getting the ball. Now, he didn't ask me if I could play. He didn't have any communication with me at all. He just assumed that I wasn't able to help him. And so literally, he almost knocked me down. So after that incident, I kindly told him that if he would let me get the second hit, that I'm a setter and I would set it up for him and he could spike it and he could have this amazing, wonderful experience of seeing the satisfaction of that ball going over the net with some force. And so sure enough, next play, he let me do my thing. I set the ball up to him and he spiked it down. And he turned to me and it's like, I am now his new best friend, right? He's giving me high fives. He's like, yeah, this is awesome. So I had to create some space because he didn't take the time to actually find out who I am, who I was in that space. And I think that when we come together in teams, in groups, especially in this day and age when team is so important, it's really important. It's really valuable for us to take the time to actually get to know the people on the team, to find out what their abilities are, to find out what their passions are, to find out, what their skills are. And in that place, they're able to actually be brought into the team more quickly. And the other part is that we won't trample over what God placed them there to do or who God placed them there to be, what he put them in that position. We're going to just, take this and say that, God causes people to rise and fall in leadership. So if he's bringing people into a team, especially a leadership team, we can't assume that they are incapable and we can't assume that they don't have something to value add. So for me, this actually has translated into what we do in the Warrior Commission, which is giving people value and voice, to assume the best in those people and to try to create space for their best to come out. And that's truly what it is to be a leader among a team. You may not be the senior leader, you may be the senior leader, but either way, you have an opportunity to create space for people to step in and be their best selves. And in that, we actually find this amazing ability for people, one, not to be trampled on, because no one likes that. Two, it creates a healthy tension rather than a negative tension. And three, it actually facilitates the synergy that God wants to create in a team. It creates the space for each person to be their best selves in that place, and to learn and grow together. I know that one of the things that Proverbs talks about is there is wisdom in a multitude of voices. And I think we've talked about that before, but it's really, those are key critical verses for me. And especially in the Warrior Commission, those are key verses for us as a community, because we recognize that there are things that people have to contribute, whether it be revelation that God has given them, whether it be breakthrough that they have stepped into, if it's understanding for what strategy is possibly in play, or if it's even just in their personal lives, what's happening. Because every time someone on the team rises, the team rises, right? So when we can undergird and lift up and encourage each other in the things that God has placed in us, and to celebrate that in a way that gives value and voice, we're going to actually find that our teams are going to be stronger and more unified. There will be incredible synergy. There will be incredible breakthroughs among the team and as the team. And there are things that are going to happen that God is going to do in that journey together. So if you're someone who tends to trample on people, I would encourage you to hold back, take the time to get to know people, and go ahead and see, ask God, hey, God, how do I identify their best self? And how do I make space for that aspect of who they are to come out? If you are a person who's stepping into a team and, you're not wanting to have to like prove yourself, you're just wanting to be who you are, to stand in confidence in who you are, do that. Don't get yourself in the mix of having to posture or pretend or try to be something that you're not, or try to be more than you are. Just be who you are. Be who God created you to be, and learn what it is to bring that best self out, and to be willing to be not just vulnerable, but courageous enough to share who you are in that space. And I think that if we can do this, we can actually live out Psalm 133:1, which is how good and pleasant it is when brothers live together in unity. Oh, that's so powerful. It is like precious oil poured on the head, running down the beard, running down on Aaron's beard, down upon the collar of his robes. It is as if the dew of Hermon were falling on Mount Zion. And guys, this is such a powerful way to live when we live in unity, which is the opposite of what the enemy's always trying to do, right? He's trying to bring division. He's trying to bring hurt and woundings. He's trying to bring in dysfunction. And so if we can actually step into a place where we can live this verse out by valuing each other and being our best selves, but also pulling out the best selves of those around us, wow, talk about a power-packed experience of life together, and seeing heaven come to earth and seeing breakthroughs come all around you. So I hope that this encourages you. I hope that you are able to join me on Gathering Momentum for Your Life next week, next Tuesday at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm Christine Casten, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thanks so much.